the figure etched into the annals of history as Mustafa Kemal Atatürk was born in the bustling Turkish port city of Salonika, sometime during the early months of 1881. At birth he was given the name Mustafa, while the surname Ataturk, by which he would later become almost universally known, was a distinction bestowed upon him much later in his lifetime. His father, Ali Rıza, served as a lieutenant in a local militia and had previously held a commissioned officer's rank during the Turkish War of 1877–1878. This military role hints at Ali Rıza's status as a member of the minor Ottoman nobility, an elevated social standing within the empire's hierarchical structure. Tragically, Ali Rıza passed away when Mustafa was only 7 years old. Despite his early death, it is widely acknowledged that Ali Rıza's influence lingered, particularly in his insistence that his son attend a secular school instead of a religious one, an educational choice that Mustafa himself would later regard as pivotal in shaping his worldview. Mustafa's mother, Subidi Hanım, hailed from a rural farming community near Salonika. It is believed she may have had Yörük roots, a subgroup within the Turkish ethnic mosaic, although Mustafa's own ethnic heritage is complex and has been the subject of considerable debate. Various theories propose that he might have had Albanian, Bulgarian, or even Jewish ancestry, but his identity remained primarily Turkish. Following the death of Ali Rıza, Subayd moved the family back to her native rural village outside Salonika. However, when Mustafa reached adolescence, he was sent back to the town itself to attend a secondary school, where he was given the name Kemal, meaning the perfect one. This epithet was conferred upon him by a mathematics teacher who recognized his remarkable intelligence and mature demeanor. By the mid-1890s, Mustafa had thus become known as Mustafa Kemal, though the name Ataturk, translating as Father of the Turks, would not be officially granted to him until 1934, when the Parliament formally adopted it. During his teenage years, Ataturk's ambition to pursue a military career was already becoming clear. In 1896, at the tender age of 15, he enrolled in the Monastir Military High School, setting him firmly on the path that would define his life. Around this time, the Ottoman Empire was undergoing profound transformation. Once a dominant power during the 16th and 17th centuries, the empire had controlled vast territories spanning Turkey, North Africa, the Levant, and much of the Balkans, even threatening the Austrian capital of Vienna as late as 1683. Yet by the 18th century, the empire's influence waned considerably, especially as European Christian states began to modernize rapidly, fueled by industrialization and the development of advanced military technologies. The empire's decline became painfully evident in successive defeats, particularly in wars against Russia during the late 18th and early 19th centuries. Simultaneously, regions such as Greece rebelled and eventually secured their independence from Ottoman rule. By the mid-19th century, European powers had started referring to the Ottoman Empire as the sick man of Europe, a label that underscored its steady deterioration and failure to keep pace with the modernization efforts seen in Britain, France, Prussia, Austria, and Russia. This decline prompted internal concern and sparked reformist movements. In 1865, a secret society known as the Young Ottomans emerged, composed of intellectuals determined to revitalize the empire. Their vision was to modernize the Ottoman state by instituting a constitutional government that would limit the Sultan's authority and transfer power to a cabinet of ministers and civil servants. They aimed to preserve Islam's central role in Ottoman identity while embracing liberal ideas such as democracy and technological progress to ensure the empire could compete with European rivals. The young Ottomans succeeded in compelling Sultan Abdülhamid Haidi to promulgate the first Ottoman constitution in 1876. However, this constitutional experiment was short-lived. By 1878, Abdülhamid Haidi had reasserted his absolute authority, dissolving parliament and rolling back reforms. Yet the quest for reform persisted during Mustafa Kemal's youth. A new movement known as the Young Turks arose, composed of intellectuals, revolutionaries, and military officers, including many non-Turkish ethnicities such as Greeks, Jews, and Arabs. By the early 20th century, this coalition had coalesced under the Committee of Union and Progress Cup, a powerful political entity that would profoundly influence both the Ottoman state and Mustafa Kemal's life.